How you doing, my family and friends? For those of you who are interested in getting in real estate and owning investment properties and acquiring a portfolio, it all starts with one deal, one property. That's all you got to focus on. One deal, one property. And it's a good idea to start imagining yourself in your mind owning that property, right? You got to start thinking about it, and you got to be relentless chasing it down. And what I would say is, as an investor, your first deal should be a multi-unit. A multi-unit is a multi-family where it's a 2-family, 3-family house or more. Why do I say a multi-unit? Because it has a better probability to generate income if you're renting 3 houses instead of one. A 1-family, if it doesn't have a tenant, then you're not making no money off of it. A 3-family or 2-family, the property's always generating income one way or another. So if you got a 2-family and you got a loan on it, then at least one rental is gonna pay back the bank, and the other money you could use it to buy more and for whatever else you want to do with it. So I would say try to get a multi-unit. Now look, there's different ways to go about doing this. You could look at the tax claim bureau for people that don't pay their taxes, people that abandon their properties, and those properties are going to go up for auction. You could investigate that route. Where's the next auction going to be? Who owes taxes? And just get the information. It starts by educating yourself. You know, taking up courses, listening to videos on Bigger Pockets podcasts. And like I said, you got to be relentless, man. You got to keep going. You got to keep going. You got to keep going until you get that first deal. And also, if you own a property and you got equity in that property, right, then leverage that equity. Don't be afraid to go to the bank, say you want a HELOC, a home equity line of credit, right? You got equity there, say you want a HELOC, and just put yourself in a position where you have access to that capital and start looking for deals. Because if a deal comes up, then you will be able to get the money right there. And that will be your, money to buy the property, or as a down payment on a property, on a multi-unit, on a commercial property, on a storage facility, whatever in your mind you think you want to do, right? So you could get capital there out of your own equity in your own house, right? You could save the money. You could save the money as well. And also, what I would do is I would drive around. And when I'm driving around, going to BJ's, going to work, wherever I'm going, I'm always keeping my eyes open, looking for abandoned properties. And when you see an abandoned property, a property that looks like there's nothing going on in there and it's boarded up, then get the address to that property, get the information, and do your research on that property. Why is it abandoned? Who owns it? Is it gonna go up for sale? Is the previous owner wanna sell it? Are they interested? And don't worry about what area it's in. Do not worry about what area it's in. Because what about if you're gonna get a house in a bad area for $1,000 or for $5,000 or even for 10? This is what I did. I wasn't worried about the area. I was worried about getting the deed. And then in time, the area is gonna get better because people still coming in. People still gonna need a place to live. And then you fix that property. You fix it. It doesn't matter what area it's in. You fix it little by little. It's like putting your money into the bricks. It's like a piggy bank. Every property that I bought for pennies on the dollar, for a few $1,000s, is worth a couple of $100,000 now. And people paying triple the money for rent that they was paying me when I first bought the house right now. So this is why I'm telling you this. You gotta chase it down. Talk to a realtor. Call realtors and tell them, look, I'm interested in getting into real estate. I want an investment property. Can you please research and find me a property that I could potentially buy that's gonna generate me $2, $3, $4, $5,000 a month. You know, depending on how much money you could accumulate or you have access to. You tell them realistically, I got 30,000. Realistically, I got 10,000. Realistically, I got 50,000. What realistically, I have 100,000. And you have this conversation with these realtors that know other realtors, even in different states. Also, we got family members in different states that know realtors. You know, we got family members in different states. You gotta think outside the box. You have to think outside the box. There's a lot of ways to get this. You know, you could buy a land in the Caribbean by the beach. A co-worker of mine told me that he bought a land in Croatia for $250,000, right? He bought the land for 250 grand. This guy got money because he bought property in Brooklyn a long time ago that's worth a lot of money right now. So look, he just showed me a property that he bought for 250 grand in Croatia by the beach. And then he showed me the building that he put on that land with 12 apartments by the beach. And he's painting with me side by side. And he shows me this because he knows what I do. And we talk a lot. But he just surprised me with this. He said, look what I'm doing. And I said, my goodness. You see what I'm saying? So that's what he had to do. So there's different ways to get it. You could do an Airbnb. Anything you buy by the beach anywhere is always going to generate you money. It's always going to cost money because once you put a property that you could stay in next to the beach, that's something that you're going to be able to Airbnb the whole time, and you're going to be able to go over there for vacation the whole time. So it's just, like I said, be relentless and chase it down. And imagine yourself, reverse engineer. Imagine yourself with the millions in your hand already. You know, I'm gonna own a portfolio that's gonna be worth $10 million. Imagine yourself in that situation at this point. And then do reverse engineering. Now where do I gotta start to get to that point? This is what I did a long time ago when people thought that, that I was washed up. You just coming home. Oh, look at the little job you got. I said, don't worry about my little job right now. Don't worry about my 3 little jobs right now. Don't worry about it. And when I got my first property, I said, they just let me get my foot in the door. They just let me get my foot in the door now. Now it's gonna be a problem. And still, I didn't doubt myself and I killed the noise. Oh, what you doing? Oh, that's too far. Oh, you gotta be crazy. Oh, you gotta leave this town. Oh, there's nothing up here. I got that constantly from different people throughout the years. But now you fast forward 15, 20 years later, and look, the pandemic hit, right? A lot of people left New York. And then after the pandemic, the asylum seekers came in. Now, and inflation happened as well. Those 3 things put me in position. Now, those 3 things right there put me in a very good position right now. Why? Because I was relentless and I just put my head down. I drowned out the noise and I didn't pay attention to what nobody was talking about. When you buying cars, when you taking exotic vacations, when you spending all this money on jewelry, when you got 2 and 3 and 4 girlfriends and you living your life, right? And I'm saying, no, let me plant seeds. Let me worry about tomorrow because I did all that other stuff way back when. So I already know what that is. I know that's a dead end road. You just living in the moment. You caught up in the present. Nah, man. You got to stay moving forward because you don't know how far you're going to be able to get. You don't know how far you're going to be able to get. So drive around your neighborhood. Talk to your family. Talk to your co-workers. If you know somebody who did investment, people that reached out to me because of what I was doing, they up a couple of $100 grand right now. Easily over 500,000. People that touch base with me and said, what you doing? Let me see. Take me up there. They up a couple of $100,000. Everybody that investigated and put their money down, they up right now. They up right now. I could name you at least 5 people right now. They're up a couple of $100,000. You know? Because of what I was doing. So there's people that's doing what you want to do right next to you, that you just got to humble yourself and ask them and talk to them. Because these were people that came to me, you know, and I said, here, I'll give you, you know, let's all get it. Real estate is for anybody and everybody. It has made the most real estate has made the most millionaires in the history of the world. In the history of the world, real estate has made the most millionaires. You see what I'm saying? And that's what you got to understand right there, that 100, 200 years from now, if Jesus Christ haven't came back, people are going to need somewhere to lay their head at to rest. And, you know, and if you got children, you got to do it for them. You cannot leave it up to them to get a job and continue the poverty mindset. Nah, we're not on that poverty mindset. We're not on that poverty mindset. And now that I know that it works, now I'm really imagining different things and where I'm trying to take it to now. You know? You know, because it's like a hobby for me. I love it. It's fun for me. You know, and I want to share it and I want to teach it and I want people to do good. And this is what we don't talk about. We don't help each other out at this level. How I'm going to come now and from the position I'm in, now I'm going to just tell you, oh, look at me, look at me, look at me. And I'm not willing to show you how I did it. Now I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. You got to get your credit right. You got to get your down payment right, your savings. You got to get your mind right. You got to get your health right. Everything is connected. Your spirit right. Come on, man. I'm following podcasts. I'm listening to the 9 to 5 Millionaire. I bought that course. It cost $2,000 to get a lot of information there. The 9 to 5 Millionaire. I'm listening to the Secret to Success podcast. Eric Thomas in them. You know, and the stuff they built me up. I'm part of that family right there because I've been listening to them now since 2016. Are you kidding me? This is why I'm talking to you right now. This is why I'm making this video right now. Because that's what they do. So I'm not doing what's in my environment. I'm doing what people doing where I'm trying to get to. You know? That's what I'm doing right now. So, you know, with that being said, man, don't be afraid, man. Do your research, investigate, and then make the decision, and then fight the hardest to make that decision right. And you're not going to regret it. You're not going to regret it. Because now you're working with purpose, and you know, you're not going to get bamboozled out here. But you got to trust yourself. You got to trust the process, and you got to be super patient. You know, what I'm telling you that I did is over a 20-year period of persistence and consistency, putting it down, putting that work in season and out of season. A once upon a time felon, unashamed for Christ, forever saved.